Hi, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. I'm going to start some music here a little bit just to maybe wait for a few more people to join the stream before I start. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about, because it's everybody's talking about it right now, really, in many places. I want to discuss Katt Williams' interview on the Shay Club interview. So just kind of sit back. And also, I want to give a shout out to Rodney Ward. He was actually leaving messages in my chat before we started, and he said, "Hello, beautiful." And I just want to say thank you for saying that. That has made my whole evening. Happy Sunday to everybody. I hope you've all had a really wonderful weekend. And so we've made it through pretty much our first week of the new year, which is I guess exciting. We made it. We all made it for 2020. We all made it to 2024. So we should give ourselves a little bit of a pat on the back for that. Okay, so I'm going to start just a little bit of music. You know what? I'm just kind of in the mood to play this song for a second. Let me play it.
If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling violet and hollering at your girl. I'd be making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I'd be making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling violet and hollering at your girl. I'd be making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I'd be making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. Scratching my nutsack, dropping rap like rap. I stepped outside of my show and got robbed by one of them thug cats. Hopped on stage and someone yelled out, "Use a rag." If I wanted to hear it, I beat it like a punch bag. Fun fact, people jump me like bounce castles. All I gotta do for it to happen is go to 10 and count backwards. Hearing the crowds laugh and said about my dad's past, and someone walked past and laughed and said, "Damn man, you're a sad bastard." A tad act with misfit, vagabond and miscreant. So confusing people's contemptuous glance for actually feeling it. Not narcissistic, just part of the pot you pissed in. Part of ways with them and left not a drop of wisdom. Been caught slipping, the cardinal smart victim of convicts, criminals, and cogs in the cop system. Once thought I was cool in my market brand, skinny jeans, till a chick pulled them down and nicknamed my mini-me. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling violet and hollering at your girl. I'd be making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I'd be making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling violet and hollering at your girl. I'd be making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I'd be making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. In my underpants, I'm staring at the ceiling, debating boxer brief merits. Watching parent MCs copy M&M's of parents. It's apparent I'm destructive with the thoughts that I've been sharing. I'm a tad awkward in circles. My social cues considered barren, narrow-minded, and criminal intentions when I mention that my pen game's the only way I'll make it to a pension. Kamikazation of the problem in correlation with the root of all evil. At the tree of Eden, tearing at its fruit is for my people. Consumed with inner demons for my coop. Shooting hoop dreams, praying that they breaking through the roof. It's a middle finger if you talking, but never do a damn thing. Take a swing, man, I'm crazy and confused and deranged, considered clinically insane, but where's the proof? I'm a bastard in the booth, captain of a sinking groove, riding out the waves of boat, overcoming what you do.
It almost sounds like it could be Katt Williams, but this isn't. This is actually from Epidemic Sound. I have a subscription with them, so when I play music on YouTube, I'm allowed to play it. Okay, so it gives me the. So this is called "Sour Turn" by Penderaps, and I like it. I think it's comedic, and so I thought it was maybe fun to start the show on.
If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling violet and hollering at your girl. I'd be making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I'd be making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling violet and hollering at your girl. I'd be making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I'd be making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the.
I mean, he doesn't exactly talk like that, but it seems like he could have done that character, that voiceover or something. So, all right. Welcome again to the show. I see John in the chat tonight. Thanks for being here. I'm going to shout out to John and to _. That's Paul Shields. Hi, Paul Shields. It has been quite the interesting week. However, I'm just going to talk about Katt Williams tonight. Okay, I don't want to mucky it up with all the other stuff. Um, I think this is like a little bit more relevant, and also a little bit more. It's got a wider spectrum of content demographic as well. And you know what, Katt Williams is one of the comedians besides Dave Chappelle that has come out and talked about things like Hollywood, the casting couch, also, what we would consider to be the Illuminati, certain, things that happened in Hollywood, basically. And I've been watching Katt Williams for a while. I'm actually a fan of Katt Williams. I've always really liked his comedy. And, I've watched several videos, as well as a lot of other people who maybe tune in to, the more alternative edge in YouTube, right? When we see certain celebrities coming forward and talking about, how Hollywood, has, wants to have a control on you. Roseanne has come forward and talked about MK Ultra in Hollywood. Again, some comedians have been removed from, TV shows, or they've had them canceled, even though they had really big ratings, as in Tim Allen. And a lot of people speculate that was because his show was giving conservative ideals out. And, a lot of people think that maybe, the mainstream media tends, and I say tends, to have a liberal slant. But another thing happened right now for me, and I feel kind of connected to the story in a way, for more reasons than one. First of all, I am a comedian, and I have worked, for over 25 years as a, touring professional comedian. I also had 15 Minutes of Fame because I was a top 10 finalist on the first season of Last Comic Standing. And I was in the first reality show on television about comics, and we lived in a house and everything like that. So, a lot of times, like in this channel I have here and some of the content that I've done on YouTube, people talk about communities. Well, this community and that community, but my community, what I consider my community of the people that are, that I see what I would say is my tribe. And I would say that's the comedy community, since I've spent more than half of my life in it. And I have quite a history of relationships and friends within many comedians over the span of many years in this particular business, starting back to the 1984, the mid 80s, when I first started doing and waiting in line for open mic night at the Improvisation in the and I was doing sets at the Laugh Factory. Because that was the first club that made me a regular, really. Like Jimmy Masada pulled me aside and said, first I thought I was in trouble, okay? And then the owner of the Laugh Factory pulled me aside and said, I think you're funny. And I was only doing about like 3 minutes of material, all right? I had like one strong opening joke and, I guess like a unique personality. Right. And so, he says, you hang out, I'll give you late night spots. And that was when the Laugh Factory was just a little hole in the wall between Greenblatt and I think it was Wu Fong's Chinese restaurant or something like that, which at that time the comics would hang out and go there. And, like, for example, like Pauly Shore at that time was about 19 years old and not really old enough to come into the club when I was also there, waiting to do those late night spots. And I was about 25 years old. No, maybe younger. I was probably started about 24 years old, when I was doing those, sets, at the Laugh Factory. And, I worked all the clubs. I even worked in the black clubs in Los Angeles. That's why also I feel kind of connected to some of this as well. And I know that's kind of interesting that I would be a fair-skinned person, and work black comedy clubs, but I did really well for some reason. And also in gay clubs, and I also was on a lot of Latino comedy nights because I am half. So I made jokes about being really white but still being half Latino. Okay. So, because of that, like, I think my first black club I ever worked was in Long Beach, D.L. Hughley, before he was famous, was booking Birdland, a club called Birdland. I believe it was, if I remember, it was like Long Beach. And I was doing like the Long Beach Comedy Club and, different places that, the Bell Casino and stuff like that. And, he asked me if I wanted to come out and do Birdland. And so I did. And, there's like certain people out there that were also white people, doing black clubs. And one of those people is like a guy named Honest John, but also another person, his name was Steven Lolli. And Steven Lolli is a friend of mine, and I've known him for several years. And, I've done shows with him, and I believe I booked him. Like, I used to book clubs. I used to book venues throughout like Los Angeles and stuff, and primarily in Pasadena too, a lot in Pasadena. And, I think I might have, given him a spot too, on one of my shows and everything. And through social media, we have, stayed in touch. And Steven Lolli actually ended up being a writer, being someone who worked for Katt Williams for, quite a while, and really helped him out in his comedy career. And it just so happened, when I decided to go back to college to, get a degree in digital journalism, I'm on that adventure now, although I don't consider myself retired from the comedy business, by the way, just so everybody, like, I'm just letting it out there right now that, even though I am doing other things, I still don't see myself ever giving up the craft or the art form of doing stand-up comedian or doing stand-up comedy. So that being said, I started writing. I took a class called Journalism Solutions at, Fresno State. And with that class, you write for Flourishing Fresno magazine. And, I kind of, you wanted it, a lot of it was about community, like what's going on here, like fostering, letting people know what events are happening or what rock venues are going on or what comedy shows or whatever. And because I have an interest in the performing arts in Fresno, being that I started performing here when I was like, actually, I don't know, 9. And I worked in the dinner theater. It's called Roger Rocket's Good Company Players. And, it was actually my first paid job. And, I was involved in plays in high school and college. And, I had been previously a theater arts major in college. And so I, did an article on the dinner theater. And then I noticed like a couple comedians. One I knew and worked with, which is Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, was at the Save Mart Center here in Fresno, which is a big arena that is connected to Fresno State. And so, I wrote an article on, Gabriel Iglesias being at that club. And then, yeah, Polly Shore. Yeah. 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 Remember Polly Shore? Yeah. Encino Man. I still like that movie, actually. I know it's kind of like a guilty pleasure, actually. And Make Him Laugh. Yeah. Where was I in this? Okay, so then we were all sitting around in class, and we were trying to pitching articles and looking at what was going on in Fresno. And I said, look, Katt Williams is playing at the Save Mart Center. And I go, yeah, and my professor goes, yeah, go ahead and write the story. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah. And I go, wow, because I already knew that Katt Williams was, this whistleblower kind of comedian that, just comes out and says things and has been incredibly honest about some of the scandals that take place in Hollywood, and how certain, like, basically he says, this person, like, they sold their soul to the devil. All right. And he doesn't pull any punches. And, and he says that I'm a man of God. I'm a man of faith in God and in Jesus. And like, he's like, I walk that line. And, he just kind of is like real, like, brazen about it. Like he doesn't, like, he seems fearless in saying some of these types of things in the public. But that's what I really appreciate about him. I think there's this kind of like thing with comics where when we look at another comic on stage and they're doing something, not only are they funny, but they have the what's the word I'm looking for? Courage to say it, to just call out things, and or go on that slightly edge where the audience is kind of like, or there's like truth to it. Like those comedians, and they get away with it, and they're funny. For me, they're some of my favorite comedians. If you want to ask me, who are your favorite comedians? Who do I like the best? One of them is Katt Williams. One of them, you can say, oh yeah, I liked, Bill Hicks, and I liked George Carlin, I liked Lenny Bruce, and I liked, Louis Anderson, and I love Ricky Gervais, and I saw Ricky Gervais's recent Netflix special. I swear he had me rolling. I know in conspiracy world, there's all this, stuff about him and whatever, but I don't care right now. I mean, it's like, because those are all still conspiracies anyways. He's still damn funny, Ricky Gervais. And just think about what he said at the what was it? Not the Grammys, but the Golden Globes or whatever, wasn't it? Or was it the Emmys or whatever? It's the foreign press, right? I think it's Golden Globes, about the guy who has his list coming out right now. I mean, it's just like he just really got people going in that. I mean, and I think that's, I applaud comedians for that, because it's almost like that's our purpose. Somebody, the speaker, the orator, the person who can make people laugh and bring them joy and laugh at, the struggles in life, and, say things, our society needs those people. And I think that Katt Williams is one of those people. Okay. So that being said, I want to, yeah, Gervais is hilarious. Like, I even told my mom, I go, Mom, you got to watch this Ricky Gervais's Netflix special. Now, my stepfather doesn't like him. And, I go, just watch it when Ron's not around. And just, because, and my mom got back and she goes, oh, it was hilarious. I laughed so hard. It was hilarious. Yeah. He is very, very funny. And I have to say, the English version, I like the English version of The Office way more than the American version. Way more. Ricky Gervais was the better a-hole boss, okay, that than the other guy. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about. See, I can't even remember his name right now, but he had a big career. So, all right. So, what I want to do right now is I just want to pull up my article that I wrote about Katt Williams, because when I wrote this article, and this is my friend Steven Lolli, he allowed me to use this picture for the article, courtesy of Steven Lolli. When I wrote this article and I researched him, I learned a lot more about him than I knew before. And one of the things that I did learn about Katt Williams was his graciousness and his care for providing opportunities for other comedians. And as he says on the Shay Club interview, and these comedians didn't owe him something, like they didn't have to suck his, you know what I'm saying, and whatever. I'm trying not to be too crude on YouTube here, but he didn't ask for sexual favors for them. Okay. So to work for him. And here here's the article. I'm going to just go ahead and read it. Katt Williams, the Dark Matter Tour is coming to the Save Mart Center on December 31st at 8 p.m. Katt Williams said that he calls his tour the Dark Matter Tour because of this time in history, we know more about the universe and space than we have ever known in the history of mankind, and the jokes fly from there. Check out Katt Williams' Dark Matter Tour TikTok clip. And I'm not going to play that because, again, I don't know what the rights are on his comedy at the moment, but I will. This article is up on my community page, and after I'm done after I'm done with the show, I'll make sure that I give a link to this article in the description of this video. So the actor and comedian was born in Cincinnati, and he grew up in Dayton, Ohio. According to Williams' IMDb, throughout his professional journey, he has used his comedy as a tool to travel the country and has accumulated a massive fan base in the process. Williams won a Primetime Emmy Award in 2018 for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series for playing Willie the Alligator Man in a Hulu episode of Atlanta. Steven Lolli, comedian, met Williams while performing in Black audience clubs in LA. I was the only white Jewish guy performing in Black clubs for many years, Lolli said. And here's where the article comes in and it takes a turn. Like this part, the top part's like who, what, why, where, and when, right? And now it's getting into the meat of Steven Lolli's relationship to Katt Williams and the things that he did for other comedians and kind of his story when he was doing comedy starting out in Los Angeles. Okay, so Steven Lolli, comedian, met Williams while performing in Black audience clubs in LA. I was the only white Jewish guy performing in Black clubs for many years, Lolli said. He said that they had a lot of the same close friends playing in South Central LA comedy clubs like the Juke Joint, and one of those friends introduced him to Williams. This happened during MySpace days. Lolli wrote his MySpace address on a cocktail napkin before he went on stage. He told Williams that if he liked his comedy, he would love to write for him. The next day he called. It was a little bit of a grace of God thing, to be honest with you, Lolli said. He offered me a writing job and gave me a bunch of money, and it really helped me. Lolli said he was living really rough and that Williams even offered him a place to live at the time. Williams would tell people, "We have facilities. If you need a place to shower or a place to stay, you can stay here." The year was 2007, and Williams was already famous. However, in 2008, he became the top grossing comedian in North America, and Lolli was with him for that. Lolli worked with Williams during the time of his comedy documentaries Pimpin' and American Hustle. He said that Williams wanted to help the careers of his crew and that he just wanted them as a resource that he could go to. Lolli said that Williams' two most favorite comedians are Mr. Bean and Don Knotts. They would sit and watch their movies in his office. He also loved Napoleon Dynamite and Borat. "We would just sit and talk about our love for comedy," Lolli said. He said that Williams overstepped all of the comics that were in the pipeline to be the next Eddie Murphy or the next Richard Pryor. Those guys were hanging out at the Improv or Chocolate Sundays, but Williams came out of the back channels. Williams came out of the Hollywood Park Casino, and that is where he launched his empire from similar to the same pathway as Robin Harris. Harris didn't come out of Hollywood. He came out of the hood. Lolli said that he thinks Williams is one of the greatest comedians of all time. He could read the phone book and be funny, Lolli said. And then, tickets and that, is the little wrap up there. But, and when researching him and when interviewing Steven's experience of like knowing Katt Williams, that gave me as a journalist, but also as a comedian, because I know the places that he's talking about, and because of the fact that it is comedy. And it's been so much, part of my life. I felt like it I could feel it. You know what I'm saying? I related to the things that I was researching and the time period and the topics that they were that I reported on. But it also just gave me a favorable understanding of Katt Williams as a human being, as a man. Beyond, that he is, a funny comedian. And, one of the things that, I always, like in a comic, and especially in a comic that, is as creative and, amazing as, like, let's say Katt Williams is, that they do care about other comedians and they recognize and foster other talent, even like the younger generations that are, in the ranks. Now, when I watched, I watched a lot of commentary on the Shay Club, interview. A lot of different types of people have made commentary on the reaction of the things that he talked about. Now, I'm not going to play any of it because it's a pretty big company, and I just don't want to cross over in it. But I will make sure that if anybody wants to watch that interview from beginning to end, it's almost 3 hours. It's about two hours. It's pretty close to 3 hours, but that's not nothing uncommon for a lot of you guys that, are hardcore YouTube watchers, and that you can watch it in parts. But it was really interesting to hear about his life. And, also to realize how well read he was and how smart he was. Like, he was like almost like a little genius, like a little like child prodigy. I think he said that he started college at the age of 7 or something like that. Like, he was full on reading books, not just like See Spot Run, right? I don't know if that they have books like that anymore. I don't know if Dick and Jane are around anymore with Spot, right? Remember, you got to be old to know Dick and Jane. But there's a really great movie. The original is the best, although the Jim Carrey one also does kind of hold up. But it's Fun with Dick and Jane. Oh my God. George Segal and Jane Fonda. It's like, it's a freaking classic. I mean, here's two movies. Like, if you're gonna watch remakes that were made, movies that came out of the 70s, okay, one original that you have to watch is The Stepford Wives. The remake does not compare, and it does not make this, the societal, statement in the remake. The remake's just absolutely awful compared to the real one. All right. And the other one that is you should watch, the original, is Fun with Dick and Jane with Jane Fonda and George Segal. Way better. Although, after you watch that one, it's also good to follow up the Jim Carrey one, because that one is also entertaining. So, in my opinion, okay, for whatever that's worth. All right, so in the interview, he talks about how he became homeless when he was like 13, and how, some of the other comedians, I think it was maybe, was it Robin Harris? No, it was somebody. No, it wasn't Robin Harris. It was Kevin Hart. I don't know. One of the comedians was taking his story and making it theirs. Like, I was homeless. It might have been Steve Harvey. Apparently, and you know what? I'm sorry, I don't like Steve Harvey, isn't it? I mean, what was hilarious at one time when, like, Steve Harvey, like, gave the wrong winner, for the beauty pageant. Oh my God, can you imagine? Thinking you won something, and the whole entire here, you get the bouquet, you get the crown on your head, everybody's like bloody. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, it's not Miss Colum, it's Miss Salvador, or whatever it was. I mean, I forgot, it was something like that. Oh my God, that's great TV moments right there. So yeah, I mean, he talked about a lot about this movie called Fridays Days, or Fridays, which is a movie that I want to watch now, right? That Ice Cube made. And he played this, what was it, now I'm getting all spaced out, okay, maybe it's the wine. But he played a character that he really, it's not Magic Mike, it's Pimp Mike, or it's like, oh, I have to go look at it now. Friday and next Friday. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, let me look this up real quick, because I should have. I don't know why I'm blanking on this right now, because I just watched this. Friday, Ice Cube. It was like, okay, and then, like, you can see all, like, wow, it's like if you just Google it, it all comes up. All right, let me just share the screen here just to kind of show the impact. Because, like, Ice Cube has come forward and made statements. I've watched that video too. Okay, so Ice Cube responds to Katt Williams' interview. And basically he talks about how he never had, because Katt Williams is saying that he had an R scene, right? An RAPING scene, right? That Katt Williams character was supposed to do. And he says, well, RAPING is not funny, and you should let that go with the character. And he kind of throws shade on the other actor, Ricky. Okay, see, I want to go to here for a second. Friday, it's a 1995 film. Friday is a 1995 American buddy comedy film directed by Gary Gray, and written by Ice Cube and DJ Posh or Pooh. The first installment in the Friday trilogy, the film stars Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, Neil Long, Tiny Zeus Lister, Regina King, Anna Maria Horsford, Bernie Mac, and John Witherspoon, set in South Central Los Angeles. It follows unemployed friends Craig Jones and Smokey, who face troubles. But where's Katt Williams' name in here? Well, he's not even in this one. He wasn't in the first one? Get the hell out. Why aren't they even listing his name? Okay, let's go to the IMDb. Well, it was a smaller part, but it was one of those parts that was like a standout. All the cast and crew. I'm still looking here. That's so bizarre. Maybe he's in the second one. That is weird. Hold on. I'm going to bring up his interview. Sorry, guys. Maybe I should play music, right? I gotta just keep talking. All right, I'm gonna go to the transcripts here on the interview. Wait. I looked at the transcripts. What the hell? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna play just like a quick song. I've been doing this lately. I'm gonna play a quick song. We'll take a quick break. I'm gonna go look for something. Just a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, so he was in the second one. All right, that makes sense. All right, so I just pulled up the transcript on my iPad here. So the feud is with Ricky Smiley, who originally was supposed to play the part of Money Mike. Okay, so Ricky Smiley was originally cast as Money Mike in the second trilogy of the Friday night shows, right? The Friday shows, Friday night. Okay, whatever. All right. So the Ice Cube movie Ricky Smiley was originally cast, which happens in acting. Sometimes somebody reads for somebody and they're like, this is good. Well, we're going to cast you as this. And then apparently, this is how it is. It's truth. Even Ice Cube said this. Katt Williams came in and just blew them away. Just blew them away. He was the part. And not only was he the part, but he actually added more to it. Like it was through originally the Money Mike character wasn't a pimp, and he turned the character into a pimp. And it was just, I mean, he just brought so much. And a lot of them, like when they were directing them, they allowed them to improvise and add more to the script. So he actually really did add to the script, and his character became much larger than it was when they originally put it together. And that also, I know this too, because Katt Williams doesn't just say it, but Ice Cube says it too. But Ice Cube's version is that there was no raping scene ever in the script, and he is refuting that was a part of the legitimate narrative of the screenplay. Okay. Now, I guess, when it really comes down to it, now Ricky Smiley ended up playing like this Santa Claus character. And they were all like, criminals and everything like that in it. And they were both like pretty much equal casting small parts. But when you're in Hollywood, or not in Hollywood, just being an actor or comedian in general, I mean, even though there are like a lot of comedians that can be really gracious and everything, but people are still really competitive, and they will be jealous, or they will be jealous that you might be stealing the scene, or that you got a part that they thought that they deserved, and they wanted that part, and they got cast someplace else. You just experience those, you just have those kind of experiences when you are in the entertainment business. It's just bound to happen. That All About Eve, right? All About Eve, that old classic film about, a person who wanted to be sabotage the lead actress so that they can take over their role. There's, making sure that to kill off the actress so you can do opening night. I mean, look, even Rosemary's Baby is kind of based on that, because he made a deal with the devil. The actor that had the lead role that he was understudying for went blind or something like that, right? So, it's the classic, sort of Faustian or even just jealous, entertainer kind of movie, but it's kind of based on a reality that really does happen. And I guess these people had been interviewed before on the Shay Club, and they kind of like said things about Katt Williams that he wanted to set the record straight against these other people. And it's just kind of interesting to watch Ice Cube talk about it. Ice Cube never really, like, neither Ice Cube or Rick Smiley, that's his name, right? I'm just like, I should do because I'm not familiar with Ricky Smiley. I don't really, like, I'm not really familiar with his work as a comedian, really. And then probably, like, I can just kind of maybe imagine like Katt Williams saying, and that's a reason for that, right? There's a reason why you don't know his work and you know mine, or whatever, But I watched this one interview where he was saying, kind of denying saying certain things, and saying, that, yeah, I thought I did have the part, and then they had his manager on the side, on the same broadcast, giving their opinion about what they thought was going on, and it's just like all this stuff is kind of happening. But the one that really caught my attention the most recently was Ludacris. even Ludacris, because like later on in the in the interview, and maybe I should like it's wait, I mean, I actually, one of the reasons why I watched this twice is because I wanted to get you know, the part about Ludacris. And it happens like in the second hour of, you know, like almost towards like the very end of, you know, the interview. And you know, and the question was, you know, are you related to Ludacris? And one of the reasons why, I mean, that was kind of a question to me too, because when I was researching Katt Williams, and I'll just go ahead and bring that up here. Okay, I'm going to go back to my article. When I was researching Katt Williams and I was looking at his IMDb, and I'm going to click onto it here. Okay. Even in his IMDb, and if you hit his bio, okay, trivia. He has 8 children, including 7 adopted children, and he's a cousin of Ludacris. Okay. This is what it's saying on IMDb. All right. And then when you click here, well, it just goes over to Ludacris. But then there's another part of this IMDb where it said that Ludacris relatives, it's either his cousin or his niece or nephew. It was like confused. Like it gave you like, well, it's one of these, but we're not really sure which one it is. All right. And on the interview with the Shay Club, one of the questions, oh, bye, not underscore. Thanks for coming by. Friday After Next is the third movie. So Friday, next Friday, and Friday After Next. Those are the 3 movies by Ice Cube. Okay. So I'm going to like pull up just a little bit here. What time is it? I'm not going to like really stream too late tonight. I was just planning on being here for maybe just an hour. But yeah, I mean, he talks about Ludacris. He talks about what he talks about in reference to Ludacris is they go, well, is he okay? Here it is. No, it was almost heavily. We were there tricking. Oh yeah, that's right. It's 2 hours in. I'm still farther down here. Anyway, I should just go by memory. I don't really have to read it like off of the transcript, or you know, because I'm obviously not going to show it. But basically, he said that Ludacris was not a relative, that they were in some sort of like Illuminati ceremony. And God, I wish I could just let me give you some more music, because the way he says it, it's worth me finding the actual transcript. So here, let me just add like another little song here, a little bit more music. right, we found it. Sorry. And thanks for having patience with me. All right. So, all right, so here's how the conversation goes. I'm just reading it from the transcript. All right. Okay, so don't let me go to this question right here. All people that love the truth got to be happy if the truth coming out. This is I think Katt saying this. Lies is getting exposed. That's just what time it is in 2024. Folks, are you related to? Okay, so this is the question about Ludacris. All right, and this is at 2 minutes and 36 seconds, or 36 and 2 hours 36 minutes and 3 seconds. Chris says no. He says Ludacris. You know how like freaking like the damn the text that comes out is for this. The transcript is just all messed up because it anyway. Okay, Luda. No. So there was a crossroads where we were both invited to an Illuminati thing. So both he and Ludacris were invited to like an Illuminati party. But he calls it like an Illuminati thing. So it's not really a party. And it had to be one or the other of us, and decisions had to be made. So it was both of us. We were equal. One of us had to cut off all of their hair and couldn't do the sidebird thing no more with the points. And the next person, they said, was going to get 200 million because they were going to pay him 10 million a movie to do 20 movies. And that's how the conversation happened. One of those persons turned out to be Ludacris, and the other person turned out to be Katt Williams. Now, one person ended up with a light-skinned, ugly faced wife that's never done. Remember, I told you that if I say that it applied to 7 people, it's part of what they give. Okay, I didn't get it. I'm not mad about it. How much money they give 200 Sir Fast and Furious is on what number right now? 10. Now 200 million, and I might need to get me one of more women. Okay, anyways, but why should I even bother like finding that? That it kind of even mucking it up even worse trying to read the damn transcript. Anyways, but I really encourage you guys to watch it. And the Ludacris thing's interesting. It's and I really kind of want to also talk about this because I made an X post because I was watching other people talk about this. Because like when you look at an event, right? Just like even in this other little alternative pocket of things that happen on the YouTube, it's really important to look like, well, what's so and so saying about it? What's somebody's response to what he said? What did he really say? What did the people that really care about him and have had good experiences say about Katt Williams too? And watch for yourself. Watch how he interacted. How he does interviews. Yes, he is outrageous. I think whenever you do an interview with Katt Williams, it's not going to be boring, right? It's not going to be boring. He's going to say things, but apparently he did really ruffle some feathers, talking about past relationships, his past opinions on who he thought he was funny and was not funny. And, comics are always going to have those kind of conversations out in the open with people, who they think is funny or not funny, and, maybe say some outrageous things. But peeling the layer underneath all of that, he has revealed some heavy duty stuff about, occultism, about the Illuminati, about how it works, about how people sell their souls to get where they, want to go, or what he says, they take a shortcut. They take a shortcut. Like, they have to sacrifice a goat to be able to be funny. And some people don't have to sacrifice a goat to be funny. They don't have to play these little, weird ritual games to, gain power because they have the gift that was given to them from God. Okay. And I think that Katt Williams is one of those people, right? And I know I can hear people going, "Oh, did you say God? Did you whatever?" But like in a sense, like he basically said in his interview, he goes, "This isn't a racist thing. This is a God thing, and it's between one side and the other side." And it was just like a lot of interesting things that it came up with. Okay, this is not really welcome on my show tonight. And I think that group is a okay. And the fact that you decided that you had to create a sock account and actually subscribe to my channel to put your little banner up is shows how obsessive you people are. That is an anti-Semitic racist group right there that just infiltrated my chat while I'm doing a live stream about Katt Williams. And I don't have a problem calling that out. And I'll say it over and over again because I want people to actually be aware of what that group is. See how many Pepe the Frogs are all over their website. Oh, wait, I banned the wrong person. I accidentally banned John. Shit. Sorry, John. I didn't mean to make you go to my chat. I was trying to remove smoke detector. So I will make sure that I go into my people that are hidden on my channel, and I will unban you from my chat room. My deepest apologies. I've done that to Pawnburger too by accident. I meant to get rid of smoke detector. Gita Gladiator. Katt Williams is hilarious. I'm not 100% sure if he's really, really not a part of the Illuminati. Some people feel that way. Some people think that anybody who is even any type of success like that may actually be part of the Illuminati and saying the other thing. But I hope he isn't either. I mean, I don't, you know what? I mean, I think sometimes when we think thoughts like that, we just go, okay, that, like you go, well, that might be a possibility. That might be a possibility. But then again, you if you don't have proof of it, if you can't prove what that is, then I don't think you can really hold somebody to that. I think at this point in time, you got to have enough evidence that you can say, yeah, you know, he's definitely part of the Illuminati. Although there is one thing that Katt Williams did do that I thought was I thought, oh, I wouldn't mind having that job, is he hires women to roll blunts for him because he only wants the saliva of a woman on his blunt, and he hires a lot of women because he prefers to have women around him than men. Which I thought was like really an interesting thing that he said. But I don't know how to roll a blunt though. But I thought, man, maybe I'll like learn how to roll a blunt, and then I'm thinking, does his blunt rolling job pay well? Like it would be pretty fun to go around all over the country and just be like, well, what do you do for a living? Well, I wrote blunts for Katt Williams. It would just be kind of like a fun thing to say, like, how did you support yourself through college? Well, I rolled blunts for Katt Williams. But anyway, so I just think that was like, that just sounds like it's so fun. John, I'm so sorry I blocked you. All right. Because I know you want to I know you want to say something back. I can't believe that group actually showed up tonight. What losers. All right, I'm gonna leave tonight. This is, I know dot score underscore left, but within the topic of the of the theme of the show. See, it's only an hour show tonight. It's just a brief one, not a big long one, not one you have to go, oh wait, let me go back and find out what, no. What do they say? Or one that you might, hopefully you didn't fall asleep. Here it is. Good night, you guys. And I hope you have a great second week of 2024. God bless you.
Save my soul. Went up downtown. Went up downtown. Went up downtown. Come on to save my soul. Went up downtown. Went up downtown. Went up downtown. Up, save my soul. Up, save my soul. Up, save my soul. Up, save my soul. Save my soul, on top, save my soul, pop, save my soul, pop, save my soul, pop, save my soul, on top, save my soul, pop, save my soul, pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. On top, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. When it downtown, went up downtown, went up downtown. I was walking out one evening late.
Headed for the riverside, around us fuss and fight.